Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Chris Short's EP launch party, hosted by Kozak DeMars. Hello everybody, good evening. My name is Kozak DeMars from DeMars Entertainment, and I have been asked to host and produce Chris Short's EP launch party for you this evening. I've been very honoured and happy to have been asked by Chris to present this memorable moment for him, and it's such a pleasure to see him rise as a musician only over the course of a very short period of time. In fact, in 2017 was the year that Chris actually began his musical journey, when he started playing open mic nights across Dublin, where we actually bumped into each other in Shin A. And I remember Chris coming up to me and I asked him, I was like, Chris, how long you playing music? And he was like, about a year. And usually as a promoter, you get a little bit scared, when somebody says that to you. But when he went up on stage, he played a cracker of a set. He absolutely astounded me, and I didn't believe him that he was only playing about a year. So he has a natural talent for music, clearly. And it's just been great to see his growth over the past few years since I've met him. So since then, he has played many notable venues across Ireland. He's been featured on some fantastic and very popular radio stations. And he's been working with Beardfire Studios on a magical EP. And it is why we are all here this evening to celebrate. So stay tuned for the next hour, guys, where you're going to be entertained and intrigued by Chris Short's wonderful world of music. So without further ado, guys, please welcome the man of the hour, Chris Short. Hold your applause, ladies and gentlemen, or write some emojis in the comments section and give him a warm welcome. Chris, how are you keeping? Good to see you.
How's things?
Great. Congratulations, first of all, on your marvelous EP. How are you feeling about it?
Yeah, like a kind of a mixed bag of emotion. I'd say, it's kind of something that I've worked on for kind of, probably really kind of focused on it for the last year to kind of get the music recorded and get it out there, and it's finally there. Yeah, kind of like excited about tonight. Look, I can't believe, like, I mean, even I released the single last February, which was the last gig that I ever did before, obviously, the lockdown. So we haven't had gigs. So that was the first kind of launch party. So this is an alternative launch party. But yeah, thanks a million. It's great to have everybody in.
Yeah, it really is. So do pop in the comments, guys, and let Chris know that you're there supporting him. He can see the comments as well. So we've got Viking Promotions, Nicola O'Gorman, we got Hannah O'Neill. So anyone else, do pop in your comments and wish Chris a happy launch party. It's great to have everybody here. Yeah, Chris, it's crazy. I mean, you're mentioning there your last gig last year, February. I mean, it's mental that we have to sort of reduce ourselves to these sort of events at the moment. And I'm sure it's like a caged animal that you're feeling. How has it been for you over the lockdown as a musician? Have you been creative? Have you been writing a bit, or have you just been focusing on just releasing these songs?
Yeah, kind of like I'm an engineer and I work full time, and the music is it's a passion of mine that's always been there, but I kind of really just tapped into it over the last couple of years, and like the lockdown has given me the opportunity to go and to get those songs. And the thing about a song is, like, a song is kind of a living. You go and you gig it and you play it differently, different nights. You say, oh, that worked well. It's only really when you kind of record it that it's kind of set in stone, or set in digital stone, to say, look, this is the song, and that's what. And to be able to do that, as you said, with Beardfire Music, to get that kind of compilation or that body of work together and to get it released as an EP is, yeah, for me it's a great achievement. And it's been again, trying to fit it in. Would I have done it, or would I have been able to do it if it was a lockdown? It probably gives you, and especially with the lockdown, everybody's kind of scope or activities kind of reduced to either 5k walking around your house, or out that. So you get kind of, so it did give me the opportunity to focus on that and to go in and record the songs, to do the post production and that kind of stuff, and work on it, and then move on to the next song and get that. So I'd say, yeah, like it definitely creative wise, it's given me the opportunity. It's kind of um, given me the opportunity to go and fill that time, that extra time with this creative stuff and to create something. And I know it's kind of a bit morbid and stuff like that, but this will be a legacy. This is what's left behind. This is when I do go, these songs will be here. And hopefully still being played.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and they're fantastic songs already, the ones that have been released. And along with this EP, so it's called Somewhere, by the way, guys. And there's also going to be a remix included in there and a new song as well. So tell us a little bit about the new song that's going to be featured in this EP. It's called Somebody.
Yeah, so when I was talking with Rowan and Al at Beardfire, and I initially spoke to them about the EP, going, I want to do an EP, I want to release it, and that kind of stuff. So in talking with them, they said, look, would it be better to go and create a couple of singles and then do the EP? So I kind of over the year I've kind of released the first single off the EP was Higher, and then it released Consumed, and then I released Flint and Steel, which is a kind of a featuring S.J. Talbot, kind of a modern spin on a duet. And again, this new song, Somebody, it's really sometimes like nobody, a year and a half ago, or maybe 2 years ago, nobody thought of COVID. Nobody thought that we'd be in a lockdown, and life does have, throws things at us. Plans never go to plan, the kind of way. So this Somebody is kind of it's a song where it's really like the darkest days are just before the dawn, and if you have somebody that's there, like a friend, or somebody that you can have that conversation with, and guide you through those tough times, you'll be okay. And it's really kind of an ask, go get that somebody, go find that somebody. It doesn't have to be a boyfriend or a girlfriend or anything like that. It could be a friend, an acquaintance, just somebody that you have to kind of even bounce how you're feeling and stuff like that. And I think especially with the COVID, I think mental health is a big thing, and it's a big focus since the COVID, because I think people have just been impacted by it more, and this somebody is like, if you have that somebody, you'll be doing okay.
Yeah, awesome. And you totally nailed it, of course. Yeah, I mean, during these times as well, it's great to release songs that are hopeful. So fair play to you for sort of taking upon that genre of things to spread the positivity, because it goes in, positivity I find goes a lot easier when you listen to it as a song. It's almost like it subconsciously goes into your head. What was one of the first songs that you've written? Are any of them in the EP actually from since you've started writing music?
Yeah, like the first song that I ever wrote or ever kind of started writing is Higher, and that was the original. That was the first single off that EP. That's on there. And again, that's a kind of a retrospective kind of look back at my then girlfriend, now wife, Dawn. A big shout out to who supports all my music all the time.
Awesome.
And it's just kind of a kind of a nice kind of, take me higher, you lift me up, you just make things you just kind of lift me up, and that's Higher. So that's kind of a upbeat, very kind of, and I think when we were looking at the songs, I had in my mind, again, being a singer songwriter, you kind of sometimes go, should I include this, should I not do that? And for the remix for Higher, it's kind of just an exploration to say, look, this is a song that I wrote, and potentially put it against a kind of a dance beat, change the pace of the song a little bit, and yeah, super. Thanks to Rowan and Al at Beardfire Music. Really happy with the outcome of that.
Yeah, awesome. Speaking of the Divils, they're in the chat there, giving you some support. So welcome, guys. Good to have you here. And yeah, it's awesome to get sort of give Higher a second wind, I suppose, right, with this remix, which is awesome. And you've given it a bit of a EDM sort of style to it. With the remix, which makes sense, I guess. With a remix, you want it to be kind of dancey and upbeat, right? Was that kind of your sort of vision, to kind of lift it up a little bit more?
Yeah, and it's nearly like being a singer-songwriter, again, and even the body of these kind of songs, it is kind of very much, my idea of what I'm kind of feeling, and it is very much, it's very easy for me to write about, a feeling or an emotion about something. And then with Higher, it was kind of like, how do you kind of push outside that singer-songwriter genre? How do you get it, possibly beyond? And when we were talking about it, it was like, yeah, that would be a perfect song for a remix.
Yeah, awesome. And we're going to get a sneak preview of that. Well, we're not going to get a sneak preview. We're going to get an exclusive full feature play of it later on, along with the music video for Flint and Steel, which is absolutely fantastic, by the way. And we're also going to have two live performances as well. So we've got a lot ahead of us, guys, and it's only 10 past 8, which is crazy. We've got an hour to fill, Chris. What do you think? Do you think we can do it?
Big time, yeah.
I absolutely love it. Alan Harrison as well giving a hello in the chat, guys, so these are all very, very welcome. Do pop a comment in, and don't forget to subscribe to Chris's YouTube channel, and give the video a like and give it a share as well, and help Chris out with this momentous occasion of his EP release. Of course, it's a super exciting event happening today. You know, a lot of hard work has clearly been put into it, and it's an exciting time as a musician to be releasing something. Do you feel, you mentioned you're kind of mixed bag about it? I guess it's kind of like having a kid almost, is it? Like you're kind of releasing stuff into the ether.
Yeah, you kind of put it out there, and it's kind of a little bit of you that you put out there. And like there's always going to be positives, and there's potentially negatives and stuff like that. And I think, I'd hate for it to go out there and not create some sort of feeling in somebody. I think, if people are kind of going, nah, that's not really what, whether somebody turning out that's brutal or that's brilliant. Once there's a reaction from it, and again, you do kind of put it out there. It's kind of, you create this little thing, and then you kind of set it out, and you're kind of going, oh, I hope it does okay. I hope, in regard to, review, critique, or even streams and stuff like that. And then when it's out there, it's out there. And look, it is like, and even like, a lot of musicians are really struggling at the moment to get that, to get that out there. And I think for me to be able to go and put those songs together, record them with the lads, and get it out there, I just think I'm lucky as hell to have it, an EP out there ready to go, a digital release. Yeah, so I'm as I said, I'm really, really excited. I hope people give it a listen, give it a share. If you want to go into iTunes, check it out, Chris Short, somewhere. It's there. Download it, put it in a playlist, share, like, whatever you can do. And even the name of the EP somewhere, when I was thinking of the name for the EP, what came in my mind is that, I'm relatively new to the music scene. While I've been playing guitar for a while, I never really went through that kind of performance bit. And again, it was I think it was 2017, as a New Year's resolution. My wife Dawn, she said, look, you've always wanted to do it, go down to the local open mic and just play 3 songs and get the buzz and start that, and that really started the ball rolling for this kind of performance bit. And I remember actually going down to the Jailbreak sessions in Kilmainham. I was terrified, but yeah, got up and did the songs, and it was such a buzz after that, and maybe it's that fight or flight kind of thing that gives you that buzz, but it was brilliant. So, and that's why it's called Somewhere, because the saying that you have to start somewhere, and this is my start, and even the graphics is done by Amy Cuff. She's an amazing artist, and I actually have the originals. These are acrylics with watercolors. I have a set of 4, so there's 4 songs. There was Higher Consumed, Flint and Steel, and then the EP cover. And when you put the 4 of them together, they create this kind of nearly like a path. It's very good. Yeah,
brilliant. Yeah, because we've seen all the separate jigsaw pieces, I suppose, coming up to it, which is ingenious. And then tomorrow, I guess and midnight tonight, guys, actually. Midnight
tonight, yeah.
Midnight tonight, don't forget. And the links are actually in the description there of the video. So you can click on Chris Short's Linktree link that's just there. So don't forget to check that out. Midnight tonight. I mean, yeah, it's totally. We could stay here till midnight. Maybe we'll just wait, will we? We should have started this later, maybe, and just done the the New Year's timer. You mentioned New Year's resolution there to tie it all together. So yeah, speaking of performances, I guess would you like to perform the song "Somebody"? I guess you're going to do a performance for us, right?
Yeah, awesome. We'll do. Just check the tuning. Yeah, and sound's coming through okay?
Yep.
Yeah, so this song, somebody, as I said, like it's kind of a song of, life throws a lot of stuff at us, and the darkest hours just before the dawn. But if you have that somebody, um, that you can either talk to or share a problem or something like that, you'll get through it. Hope you like it. That sounds terrible. Hold on. This is the problem with live. Okay. Life goes on and the world keeps turning. Smile on your face, though your heart is hurting. Living your life like big, don't cry. Can't see the cracks, but you're broken inside. And in a world so connected, how can you be so alone? 7 billion people, but you're crying alone. And you just need somebody hold you tight, tell you that everything's gonna be alright. And you just need somebody. Yeah, 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 you just need somebody tonight. You're all alone on a crowded street, never looking up, just staring at your feet. You always dreamed of your name in light. Now you're in your 8x8 doing 9 to 5. And in a world of plenty, how can you be so low? Promises of happiness in the things that you own. And you just need somebody hold you tight, tell you that everything's gonna be alright. And you just need somebody. Yeah, 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 you just need somebody tonight. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What you get is what you get is what you're given. Sometimes life don't feel like living. You gotta play with the cards that you're given. Aces high and jokers wild. From the moment you're born, you're dying. It's like spilt milk, no point crying. You gotta keep going, you gotta keep pushing on. The darkest hours just before the dawn. But in the dark, you can't see me, but I'll be there for you, like you were there for me. All I ask of you is that you find that somebody. And you just need somebody hold you tight, tell you that everything's gonna be alright. And you just need somebody. Yeah, 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 you just need somebody tonight. And it's alright to need somebody. It's alright to need somebody. It's alright. It's alright. And it's alright to need somebody. It's alright to need somebody. It's alright. You're alright. Cheers.
Woo! I didn't want to be cheesy and add in the audio applause, after. I figured we'd go all natural applause, but you're getting some awesome love in the chat. You've got Aoife Connolly saying love it. It's just Hera. It's so beautiful, Chris. Emer Short sounds amazing, Chris. All of us singing along with you.
Brilliant.
Isn't that touching?
Yeah.
It's bittersweet, isn't it, a little bit, doing events like these, because, in one way you can reach the entire world doing an event like this. You can reach somebody in a total opposite place on the planet, but you're really missing at the same time that closeness, aren't you, with people?
Yeah, I think definitely. I've gone to open mics, where there's maybe 12 people sitting around, having a couple of drinks, and then you kind of get up on stage, and yet it's a very small number. But what you might see in the corner of your eye is somebody kind of tapping their foot along, kind of to your song and stuff like that, and that's that engagement that you're kind of missing from maybe the global thing. But even if you think of a Thursday night, I think it's amazing. Like even looking at all the people that are here online that are interacting there, you know, you wouldn't get that instant, you know, group, that number of people together to say, oh look, come down here and do this, and people are going, well, I'm doing this and stuff, I'm doing this. It's so easy with this online stuff for people just to kind of, you know, maybe go get a drink or a cup of tea, you know, throw the laptop on, dial in, and it's just it does have that ease, but again, it's kind of missing that kind of physical connection. And I think will there be a mixture, you know, when this COVID goes, will there be a mixture of that? Will there, you know, I think everybody will be a lot more eager to get out and to go to something live, and you know, there's something about live music. It's the kind of the bass in your chest and the noise, and you know, it is different. But I definitely do think that this and even for us to be working together like this, you know, it's brilliant, and it's just so easy, you know, technology. But it is missing that personal touch.
100%. It's you know, it's great that we have this opportunity, this technology that allows us, this infrastructure that allows us to do this, but ultimately it can't replace what was. And of course that is, yeah, that presence in the room, the vibrations, the frequency, of course, when you're playing music, and obviously that reciprocation of the round of applause, or people even singing along with you. Nothing can really beat that. But yeah, I wonder, and I would imagine so, yeah, that there would be a mixture of, I suppose, live events, and then the odd times you'd still have the online ones. So it's great in a way we have that now, and we've learned all the technology on a domestic level, almost. Like I'm in my sitting room, we're in our sitting rooms here doing this, so it's great we could actually implement that into the future. Now, speaking of venues, you know, some are obviously popping into my head. What venue would you have chosen to do this EP launch if there was one open for you?
Yeah, like even when I did Your Smile, it was the first single that I ever released. It's a co-write with Keith McLaughlin. We did the launch party for that single in the Vintage Room in the Workman's Club. And you know, looking back now, and you see like all the chairs all stacked right beside each other, you know, 3 or 4 rows deep, you know, you just wouldn't see it now. And again, obviously with social distancing and stuff like that, venues will be quite restrictive. Yeah, look, if I was to think, I really like that venue. I think it's nice little kind of, and especially for me being a singer-songwriter, kind of really only in the kind of infancy of kind of out there, you know, getting a fan base. You know, those small kind of venues are nice. They're nice and kind of, you know, quaint. They're, you know, you can kind of nearly interact with everybody. Also, you know, even the likes of Sinead, that's a really nice place in there. It's kind of off down the back. You know, if you were to do a party there, it'd be really easy. And there's loads of places in town. I just can't wait for them all just to kind of kick back in, and hopefully, you know, that they will open back up again, and that they will have the events, and they will have the, you know, the people and the footfall, that it does get back up and running again. Fingers crossed anyway.
Absolutely. And what musicians would you have on the night to sort of play with you?
Yeah, look, I mean, I tend to meet people every now and again, you know, different open mics and stuff like that, and you know, at the back of my head I'm going, oh yeah, you know, they'd be good for doing it, you know, a gig, or you know, and again, like even at the last gig, Carol, who I met at a songwriting you know, workshop, when I was talking to her and we were kind of getting chatting, you know, that kind of stuck in my head. So Carol did that, and then I was kind of talking to Keith McLaughlin, who said there was another duet that he was kind of working with and doing a bit of promotion. So that's what we kind of got together. Said, look, yeah, would you be interested in doing this? And that's what we did for that, for that EP, or for that single launch. And it was a great night. And I think with that, when you have kind of, let's say, a number of acts for a night, you tend to get nearly kind of their fan base and your fan base, and you kind of get a good mix, and kind of it's great. It's kind of positive for all the acts on the night to kind of get, you know, exposure to another set of people that are into music, obviously. You know, and again, it really is kind of like, from a musician's point of view, it is really, you know, the nuts and bolts of it is creating the songs and putting it out there. But you really want people to kind of listen to it and share it or like it, or, you know, that kind of way, and build that fan base.
Yeah, 100%. It's great because the music community here in Dublin is astounding, of course, as you know, at this stage. Specifically the singer-songwriter events and nights. I mean, there's so many of them, and so many that I'm sure you've probably taken part in all of them. I'm sure, if you've been gigging around, which is just it's just wonderful, isn't it? What kind of, like, what was your impression, or like initially, I suppose, when you got in? You mentioned your first gig and you were a little bit daunted, but what did you kind of feel about the sort of community aspect, I suppose, of the music industry when you started off?
Yeah, yeah. For me, it was like I wouldn't be I know I don't appear it now, but I wouldn't be kind of I wouldn't be comfortable up on stage, and I'm still not comfortable up on stage. I'm still even like I thought even this evening, it's like, ah, sure, look, it's just, you're just sitting at, it's a mic, it's just, and the nerves, even just like half an hour before going. But
I get them as well. Don't worry, I've been doing this for ages.
Yeah. But it's such a buzz, and it's that adrenaline when you're up there. But then also, like, I mean, I've gone and done, like, you know, the circle sessions, you know, the Apollo sessions, the jailbreak sessions, and you get to meet people, and you know, not that you have, you might even just sit down beside another musician and get talking. Oh, what do you like? What do you think of that? You know, or you get positive feedback, or you get negative feedback, going, oh, you know, you know, and it's great to have that community, and you're building that kind of network of people, and it really is a network. Because even like I know I met you first in the school sessions, in Chennai, and then, you know, and like that, kind of seeing you on Facebook and stuff like that, and it's going like, yeah, if I'm doing the EP launch, and you have those connections, and they're real connections, like they're you know, and that's what it's all based on. That's, you know, services, you know, who knows how to do this, who's better at doing, who can I learn from to do this, and that kind of stuff. And even going to Beardfire, you know, I potentially could have gone and recorded the music at home. It probably would have taken me 5 years, you know, that kind of way. And having somebody there and having the guidance to go, actually, do you know what, we'll record it like this. This is, you know, this is how we'll produce it, and that kind of stuff. And having that guidance and that kind of stuff there, it really does, you know, fast track or accelerate that process. And it's great because, you know, you meet somebody somewhere, you mightn't think anything of it, and then, you know, whatever, could be 3 months, could be 3 years later, you know, you'll get that connection back again. Oh, do you remember that? And it's that's really what it is, and it really is a kind of a community kind of spirit, and you meet stuff and stuff like that. And again, it's not just musicians. You know, some of the comedians, some of the poets are absolutely amazing. You know, and you get kind of inspiration from them to going, you know, Jesus, that's one thing. I would hate to be a comedian. I'm so glad I'm a musician. But you get to meet people, and you get those connections.
It's funny you mentioned, you know, comedians, because of course they can be quite part and parcel with the singer-songwriter sector in Dublin, right? And poets, of course, as well. So you get that mix on those nights, such as circle sessions that you mentioned there. But also comedians, yeah, it's a rough time for comedians, because I think it's harder to do a stand-up comedy performance than a musical performance, right? I mean, you just had to face no round of applause, or just me clapping like a bleeding dope here, you know what I mean? Whereas comics, they don't get anything back, and a lot of the time they need that to feed back, right? So I mean, have you done any live gigs, or have you done any sort of like online gigs, I mean, over the year, or how have you fulfilled that desire?
I did. I've literally only did one, really, my own gig. There it was kind of just a Zoom for the last single release. And again, it was kind of like, yeah, like I know you don't get that feedback, and it is a lot easier to just put your, you know, I'm not relying on that, you know, immediate laugh back or something like that as a joke that a comedian might. I'm just kind of, and I keep saying to myself, look, Chris, you're just here, you're just playing your songs. People just want to hear you play a song. If you make a mistake, you make a mistake, you know, you just move on. Or if you do something wrong, like even like that last song, when I went to play, it was just like, tuning's out, stop, you know, and just get back into it. And again, it's just kind of nearly exposure therapy. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. You know, you get these kind of coping mechanisms and all that kind of stuff. But you know, I really kind of stayed away from the online stuff. Not any particular reason. I did a couple of StreamYards for the singer-songwriter, and I also do a bit of work with Simply Sing. They do a few vocal workshops and stuff like that, just about confidence and stuff like that. and they're good. Like and like that, you get to when you do get involved, you get that involvement with a number of people that you wouldn't be able to normally. You know, there was people from Canada, people from London at some of the sessions, and it really is. While there is that connection or that kind of presence on a screen, it still is missing that physical connection, that kind of that human, that body language reading. That there's just something else about it. But as I said, like it definitely has its place. Like that, to connect somebody from Dublin to Canada, in a workshop, perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's great that there were workshops to do and things like that to keep us busy, like the L Pub. Sorry, not the pub, the online quizzes and all that jazz, right?
Yeah.
Which I'm sure we're all sick of at this stage. So we're going to play the remix to Higher next now. Do you want to just tell us a little bit? I know we touched on it already a little bit there. Do you want to just tell us, like, I guess just refresh on who mixed it and sort of quickly how it came about, and I can play it next for everyone.
Yeah, so you'll see there, check it out. It's Higher BFM remix, and the BFM is Beardfire Music. Rohan and Al from Beardfire Music did the remix on it. Amazing job. And again, it's nearly just to push the song outside the singer-songwriter genre, just to give a kind of a and again, like, definitely for a singer-songwriter, like you're not gonna want, like, if you want a kind of a dancey, boppy, summery kind of, you're not gonna maybe listen to a singer-songwriter talking about love. But if there's a good beat to it, and it catches you, not necessarily what it's saying, but the kind of melody and the beat and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm just hoping that it kind of transforms it from a kind of a singer-songwriter into a kind of a dance. But yeah, the song itself was originally written, as I said, as a kind of a retrospective look back at my wife Dawn. Big shout out again. She gave out to me the last time I was on. I never gave her a big shout out.
You're getting 2 shout outs there, Dawn. Okay, you can't give out to him now. Okay.
Brownie points.
Brownie points. There we go. So let's play Higher remix here now.
Get your question.
I said, baby, there's something about you, something I just can't explain. 'Cause you're like sunshine when all around me is pouring rain. You are the light in the dark, you're the good in the bad, you're the dawn of a breaking day. You are the right and the wrong, you're the hook in the song, and you got me, baby. 'Cause you lift me up, you take me higher than I've been before. And your loving is got me crazy, leaves me wanting more. I never thought I'd feel this way so soon. Something has changed with me, baby, it's you. I know it's early, but it's clear to see. You are the better half of me. You are the highs and the lows now. Everybody knows I love you in every way. You are the right and the wrong, you're the hook in the song, and you got me, baby. 'Cause you lift me up, you take me higher than I've been before. And your loving has got me crazy, leaves me wanting more. Leaves me wanting more. Your loving leaves me wanting more. I think we're falling head over heel. It's because of you and the way that you make me feel. 'Cause you lift me up, you take me higher than I've been And your loving, it's got me crazy. Leaves me wanting more. 'Cause you lift me up, you take me higher than I've been before. And your loving, it's got me crazy. Leaves me wanting more.
Absolutely cracking. I mean, I was grooving to that, Chris. What an awesome track. Very, very cool to be delving into the EDM sort of vibes of things, and of course, it's a great way to sort of expand your audience, really, isn't it? So, are you planning to do a music video perhaps for that one? It sounds like you could totally just bang out something on the beach or something, you know. Things have opened up now.
We'll have a look at Flint and Steel's music video later on. I hadn't actually thought about it, but yeah, maybe, yeah. It looks like and even listening to it there, yeah, I think it's like it's you know, there's opportunity there for a drone over somebody dancing on a beach.
100%, 100%. You're getting some great love in the chat. Dawn saying amazing, Chris. Dervla saying she's bopping around in the kitchen there. Happy days. That's what you want to be doing, guys. Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is what it's about. It's a launch party. So really cool. I mean, there's such a nice diversity within the EP. So it's great that you're sort of bringing that in as well as a sort of an upbeat, and it'll be the last song, right, as well. I guess it makes sense, right, because it's the remix. So you're kind of ending it on such a high note, aren't you?
Yeah, and again, it like in the EP, like it is all original music, and you know, the EP is kind of like, it's nearly kind of an emotional journey, and then just at the end is that kind of, it's nearly like a kind of a, I don't know, a turbo boost for the song, if you know what I mean. And again, it's just to get that, you know, I didn't want it to be, because, you know, as a singer-songwriter, it can be a little bit dark, it can be a little bit emotional, and I just wanted something in there just to, you know, just lift the whole lot of it. And yeah, the lads at Beard Fire Music did a great job on that. I think we might have to talk to Robert Montgomery at Picture Mode again about a new music video.
There you go, Robert. Get ready. You're about to be contacted after this one. And tell us what are your like musical influences? Have they changed as well since you've started playing music?
Like over my life so far, it's changed some amount. Like as a kid, I was big into classical music. My mom used to say, you know, Strauss's waltz. If she's tuned in here this evening, she'd be like nodding the head, going, "Yeah, you was. like an old Irish mammy. Yeah.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah. And then kind of, you know, and then like I remember, you know, being, you know, I don't know what age it was. Anyway, Rave 92 was a CD that kind of stands out in my mind. And that kind of just, you know, underage disco, just dancing around, you know, and again, so kind of it really has changed. And then later on, I was kind of like singer-songwriter. One of the big influences for me, I was at a gig. I don't know if you know the I think it's called the Storehouse in Dundalk, or the Spirit Store. Was a real. I went there to see a guy called Foy Vance. He's a singer-songwriter from Bangor. And saw him up on stage, and he had a loop station, and he had a real kind of soulful voice on him. And when he came off the stage, I was just like going, I'd been kind of playing, you know, as a hobby, just playing guitar, trying to learn it as most people do. And I just thought to myself, I want to do that. That must have been, geez, it must have been 15 years ago, you know, when I had that. And you know, it was there. It was kind of, and it was only kind of recently then, you know, whatever 2017, that I said, no, look, let's give this a good old shot. And yeah, again, it's just the simplicity. You know, there's a lot. I'm kind of like, I'm not really stuck on any particular artist or anything like that. I love, you know, and especially when Spotify have set up the, you know, the credit. I love looking at and going and see who's the writer for that song, and then you'll actually see that there's a kind of a group of writers that write the majority of the songs that are in the that are in the top. And I always like going and looking at a song. Being an engineer, looking at the song, going, why do I like that? What is the bit that I like of that? You know, and then it's not necessarily stealing. You know, it's just kind of going, well, I might use that kind of influence. And again, it's influence, no copyright intended. You know, and again, that's how you kind of develop your own sound. And again, for me, it's kind of like, you know, it's the guitar, it's the voice, and then I do like a beat or something there that ties that all in together. And that's kind of really my kind of style, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I guess it's hard not to be influenced by our surroundings, right? That's what creates us as people too, right? On a personality basis. So as artists as well, of course, we have to pull inspiration from other artists, and obviously as well, just situations in our lives, right? Of course.
Yeah.
So we need that external force. That's why I suppose a lot of people were struggling to write during the lockdown, because they didn't really get that external sort of influence. People were kind of sick of writing about, you know, the quarantine and about bleeding pandemic. You know, that's not a very attractive song, is it?
No.
Yeah. So when did you start playing guitar? When was that sort of moment for you on the guitar?
Yeah, look, I tried guitar like when I was a teenager. I tried the guitar, you know, just to be cool. Did a couple of lessons and just couldn't get it. Dropped it. Didn't play it again. Then kind of at the end of it, kind of I was going out with a girl for a long time, and we kind of broke up, and I was kind of going, do you know what, I think I need to be cool again. So I kind of, you know, as you do, pick up the guitar, and again, like it was myself, and even a couple of my buddies picked up the guitar at the same time, and even my brother Stephen, if he's on this evening, he's listening, we all kind of picked up the guitar at the same time. And I'm the only one that's still going with the guitar. I think it's the type of instrument that a lot of people pick up and put down. I think it's one of the things that you have to kind of, you've nearly to kind of keep at it, get over that crest, and then, you know, and even like the thing that I love about it is, and again, like I've 3 kids, they were, you know, very, very young, and you know, the guitar kind of went into the corner of the room, got very dusty, never got played for a while, and then you go and you take it back out again and you start playing again. Now you're rusty as hell, but you still, you know, it's easier to get back there, and I love that about it, is that it is something that kind of, you know, while I'd love to be doing, you know, music full time, like, you know, if it was the case, like, but for me, it's a hobby. I like it. I like being able to bring it in, you know, and kind of immerse myself in it. And then when things are busy, either with family or with work or stuff like that, you know, it goes back into the stand, it goes away, and it's there. And being able to have that is brilliant. Like, and especially the guitar. It's compact enough. It's not a piano. You know, you're not dragging it around. You know,
it's not a drum kit.
It's not a drum kit.
They're horrible. They're horrible to bring around.
So that's why I love it. Like, and as well, like, you know, there's a lot of, for me, the music bit is, because being an engineer and being a guy, I mean, we don't talk about anything. We don't have emotions where, you know, that's whereas when you're kind of singing and you know, playing the guitar, it just allows you just to tune into something else that's just at a different frequency. It's that emotional bit. It's that kind of music. It's just something, you know. And I'd kind of, me personally, I'd get lost in it. I could sit there for hours on end, just, you know, just playing away, just like, you know, exploring bits and pieces. And that's the bit that I love about the songwriting. You could be there just, and you'd get an idea. Oh, that's a nice riff, or that's, you know, that's a nice melody, or actually those lyrics, or somebody might even say something, and then you go and you start to create a song about it. And then kind of, you know, and it is an exploration. I don't think it's anything that you can go, I'm finished, I know everything that there is, I know everything about songwriting, I know everything about guitar. It's going to be one of those things that, you know, it's a lifelong thing. You're never finished.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like life's lessons as well, I guess. We're always going to get something, you know, to learn throughout our lives, as much as we're always going to have to keep learning our instruments and our craft, and continually to keep being inspired as well, as much as possible, right? But yeah, it's very interesting that you kept playing the guitar amongst your brother as well. Stephen Short is there saying great work, much love, so he's wishing you the best. But it's very, very, very interesting story, and it is quite meditative, isn't it? Playing an instrument, there's a way to sort of tap into that emotional part of you, and especially as a guy, I totally agree. You know, to be able to sort of touch into that part, because you're right, men aren't supposed to express themselves which is such a shame that society has sort of, you know, come that way. You know, it is changing, it seems, but it's great that there's music there to kind of keep us going, isn't it?
Yeah, there is a lot of change, and there is a lot of opening up and all that kind of stuff, and, you know, being aware of, you know, feelings, emotions, mental health, and all that kind of stuff. But I even think from a musical or musicians, it tends to be those types of people that end up migrating into the musicianship, you know, as a kind of a life choice, that it allows them to express that. And you know, and being a musician, it does make you very vulnerable to, you know, influence, to, you know, especially when you're putting your stuff, and it is, you're creating something that's a little bit of you and putting it out there. And look, you know, you could get positive feedback back, you could get negative feedback, but I think, if, you know, the fundamental is, you know, is that creation bit. I think you can get bogged down. Like, I mean, yeah, look, I'm not expecting to be the next, you know, Justin Bieber or a billion streams on Spotify. While I would love it, you know, that's not my goal. And, you know, and take it, allow yourself take those little steps, because, I mean, my first goal was to play 3 songs at an open mic. Then the next one was to, you know, write an original song. My wife Dawn got me a voucher for a guy in AP Studios, and it was kind of, do I go in and sing a cover, or do I go and create a song myself and then record it? And I said, you know what, I'll go and create a song and record it myself. And then that, you know, then that led me into creating the Breaking Tunes. Yeah, there's a website there, a great website for musicians, if you check it out, breakingtunes.ie. But you can only put up original music. So then I put it up there and then created that. And then Keith McLaughlin saw the new profile, reached out. We co-wrote, you know, Your Smile. He knew a guy that had a studio out. You know, it's so connected, and it's such a, what would you say? It's such a kind of a gradual progression that, you know, it's constant. It's you're always doing something, and even, like, you know, even doing the music video, and we'll have a look at the music video later on for Flint and Steel. Flint and Steel wrote the song. Originally it was going to be just myself, and then we reached out to Sarah Jane SJ Talbot to go as a female vocal on that. And again, like that, you know, to go and then shoot, you know, a music video with Robert Montgomery from Picture Mode. Again, it's all these just little, do you know what? And even when we shot it up in Glendalough, and I remember sitting, I was exhausted. It was like 7 o'clock till 1:30 in the morning. You know, I went to go and rent a Go van, went there in the morning, the Go van wouldn't open, ended up having to put everything into everybody's car. You know, this, just nightmare. And just at the end of it going, that was amazing. And to do something like that, you know, for the first time, thinking, oh sure, I'll never do that. You know, if you put your mind to it and keep going, it's just allow yourself that time to get where you need to go. And it's more, if you maintain that attitude, you'll get there. It's the trying to get there without the, you know, it's kind of like, you know, if people say, oh, I want to lose weight, yeah, just take a pill, you know, you lose weight, or, you know, that kind of stuff. You know, we don't generally tend to want to do those hours of work to get there, and it is hours of work. It is for everybody. Like, you know yourself, for the stuff that you do, transmission TV, all that kind of stuff, you know, the open mics and all that, and even this, you know, you've put the hours in to get there. Yeah, so what I would say to anybody, if anybody is starting on, or starting out, or even wants to get into songwriting or something like that, just all you have to do is just start, and then just keep the mindset. Yeah, that's it.
100%. It's great advice, and it really is like an action that creates these synchronicities. I think is what it is, isn't it? Sort of meeting with the right people at the right time. It might have been good for you to meet with Keith sooner. Do you know what I mean? It mightn't have been as beneficial as it was at that perfect moment in time. So these things just happen, and it is patience and perseverance. So it's great. It's great that you can pass on this message to people as well. You know, it's really important that you have a sort of great message to pass on. You mentioned Flint and Steel, fantastic song, fantastic music video. Really, really enjoyed that. It was enthralling. I was captivated. You know, I was just completely pulled into it, which is really what a music video should do. In my opinion. We're going to watch that very shortly, but in the meantime you're going to do a live performance of Flint and Steel for us, is that correct?
I will do, yeah.
Awesome. All right, take it away, Chris.
I'll just actually check my tune on this time.
Check your tune and I'll play a little bit of background music. I can mute you actually here. I'll mute you. Get a bit of nice vibes for people at home there. Bit of lo-fi.
You can hear me okay? Okay. Yes, this is Flint and Steel. Hope you like it. I can feel your breath breathing, your rested head upon my chest. I can hear your heart beating while you're sleeping next to me. And I don't know you, but I was loving you. The way you talk, the way your body moves. And love without love, who's to say it isn't love? If it's for forever or just for tonight. But like flint and steel, sparks were flying, flames climbing higher, and temperatures rising. No, we started this fire. We started this fire. We started this fire. You and I can hear your heart beating. I can feel our feet intertwine. I could pretend I know your name. I wonder, do you remember mine? And I don't know you, but I was loving you. The way we talked, I knew you felt it too. And love without love, who's to say it isn't love? If it's for forever or just for tonight. But like flint and steel, sparks were flying, flames climbing higher, and temperatures rising. No, we started this fire. We started this fire. We started this fire. You and I. And the fire burned bright in the darkness of the night, fueled by liquor and a lust for life. But like a moth to the flame, no, it's not enough. The closer the better, but the deeper the burn. Burn, burn, burn. But like flint and steel, sparks were flying, flames climbing higher, and temperature rising. No, we started this fire. We started this fire. We started this fire. You and I could hear your breath breathing, I could hear your heart beating. But now I'm leaving, and no one gets hurt.
can feel your breath breathing, your rested head upon my chest. I can hear your heart beating while you're sleeping next to me. I don't know you, but I was loving you. The way you talk, the way your body moves. Love without love, who's to say it isn't love? If it's for forever or just for tonight. But like flint and steel, sparks were flying, flames climbing higher and temperatures rising. Oh, we started this fire. We started this fire. We started this fire. You and I
can hear your heart beating. I can feel our feet intertwined. I could pretend I know your name. I wonder, do you remember mine? I don't know you, but I was loving you. The way we talked, I knew you felt it too. Love without love, who's to say it isn't love? If it's for forever or just for tonight. Just like
flint and steel, sparks were flying, flames climbing higher and temperatures rising. Oh, we started this fire. We started this fire. We started this fire. You and I, the fire burned bright in the darkness of the night.
fueled by liquor and a lust for life, but like a
Not to the flame, no, it's not enough.
the closer the better, but the deeper the burn.
Burn, burn, burn. Just like flint and steel, sparks were flying, flames climbing higher, temperature rising. Oh, we started this fire. We started this fire. We started this fire. You and I could feel your breath breathing.
I could hear your heart beating.
But now I'm leaving,
Now you're leaving.
and no one gets hurt.
Absolutely fantastic music video and tune there. That looked like a lot of fun, I have to say, to shoot. We spoke a little bit about that shoot. So it's Robert Montgomery is the director, correct? And it's S.J. Talbot that was singing the song with you there and starred in the music video. She's in the chat, by the way, showing some love. Tell us a little bit about sort of how you came up with the concept, I guess, just if you don't mind closing off with that one.
Yeah, like Flint and Steel. If you imagine, started out one random Saturday morning scrolling through YouTube, and there was this guy going something morning breakfast smoothie. He put some flint and some steel and some petrol into a blender, and then went very far away and turned it on, and it just went kaboom. So
Brilliant.
that's where the name Flint and Steel came from, and then the idea was this kind of fictional kind of romance, or not even a romance, but this just meeting, and it really depends. Like, two people can kind of meet and nothing happen, or sparks can fly and still nothing happen, or sparks can fly and somebody makes the decision to say, look, I'm not letting anything happen, or you just kind of let go and something happens, and then you kind of and then it's gone. And for me, it was kind of like the concept of especially even before, like I was from a very young age, I was in a long-term relationship, and I had pals that were kind of having these kind of fleeting romances and stuff like that, and it does tend to be a kind of a social kind of shun upon that kind of fleeting, and everybody needs to settle down and all that kind of stuff. But they're two different things. And really, in the song, it's looking at those as two different things. It says, love without love, who's to say it isn't love? If it's for forever or just for tonight, and really, if the situation that, Flint and Steel, they don't do anything normally, but if you bring them together in certain circumstances, you'll get sparks. If you get sparks, you can get a fire. And really, it's just a kind of like that, two people coming together. The flame burns, it's gone. And it's still something. It's its own thing. It's not that it's any less or any more than anything, than a falling in love, that fairy tale romance. It's two different things, but they are, they're separate. And also that, in the middle of the song, it goes in to say, if you do decide to go in and some people jump in, feet first, and they get heartbroken, and that it shouldn't really stop you doing it. It's that, like the closer the better, but the deeper the burn. As in a moth to a flame. That's really.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, it's a great team as well that you've brought it together with, isn't it? SJ, of course, fantastic collaboration, and obviously with Robert Montgomery, director, and the dancers in the film. Did they come as a duo because they felt like they knew each other for a very long time?
So and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like those connections. It's like somebody knows somebody, or there's a connection there. So even when we originally recorded the song, it was my vocals. We had a discussion, Rohan, Al, and myself, in regard to doing it as a kind of a duet type, or a modern take on a duet. Two sides of the story. And there was just a really, really quick rewrite that it would have to be that kind of call and reply. And then we reached out to SJ Talbot, and you know what, it's so funny is because it must have been 2 years before that, and there used to be, I don't know if you know it, in the Clockwork Door, the sitting room sessions, and I met SJ at that. We were both performing on the night, and it's like that and then when I was thinking of a female vocal, I was like, oh yeah, SJ, I'll send her a Facebook message and see, and we'd recorded the song, sent it on. She said she'd have a look, and she was really interested in it. And then even talking to Rowan and Al at Beardfire, going, look, I'd really like to do a music video for maybe all of them, or just one of them, or some, and they were like, look, there's this guy that we know, Picture Mode, and it's really those connections. It really, really is connections. And again, like, as me, because like when I was kind of thinking of the music video, I just thought, like, literally as the song is, mirroring the song, which isn't very creative, to be honest, because I'm not a director. And it's when you have somebody who's like yourself, like you've put in the hours, you know what you're doing, you're doing this, Robert was the director. He knew what he was doing. He had his idea, and I was just like, Rob, look, you're a director. This is my first rodeo. You work away. What do you think? And he actually had worked previously with Andrea and Kevin, are the two dancers. And they'd practice all that. But then when we were going to do the video, the lockdown came. So we had originally set up for this kind of what would you say, a self-help kind of group that would meet in a circle, nearly like the beginning of, I don't know if you know Fight Club, one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
That kind of community help kind of circle. And then we couldn't do it because the maximum that you could have was 6 people indoors.
Yeah.
So that all changed, and again, it's like that. It's like being able to flex and move, and stuff won't always go your way. And even the dancers on the day, they'd planned to dance as if they were in the hall, and then they ended up in the lake, in the upper lake in Glendalough. So they were like, okay, we're gonna have to rethink this, And it was just a really, really good, and like a huge big shout out. I know I'm always saying, shout out to the lads at Beardfire, absolutely amazing. Robert Montgomery and Finola at the, she's the they're a Picture Mode, Andrea, Kev, SJ, absolute. It really is, again, it's my kind of EP that I'm launching here, but there's so much work goes on in the background, recording it, mastering it, mixing it, the music video, there's so much that's gone into it from a lot of people, and even this evening, yourself, thanks a million. You're part of this now.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure, Chris. It is always a team effort. It's so hard it's impossible, I think, to lead it all by yourself. But it sounds and looks and it's proven that you have a fantastic team. So it's an absolute pleasure to be presenting something like this for yourself, Chris, and to be working with you. Is there anything else you'd like to finish off with, I guess, because we've come to the end of the show? I think I think we've just warmed up. I think we could chat for another 2 hours, Chris, to be honest. I'm definitely feeling the vibes. It's just brilliant. But I guess let's let people know about, obviously, the EP once again, Somewhere, coming out midnight, and just remind them, I suppose, and give a closing statement, of course, as well, with regard to that.
Yeah, so the EP Somewhere, a collection of 4 songs and a remix. They're all original songs. They're all my work. But again, there's a kind of a team behind that for recording and stuff like that. But yeah, go check it out. It's available on iTunes. If you type in Chris Short Somewhere, you'll find it. Pre-order it. It's out at 12 o'clock tonight. You can pre-order it if you want. You can check us out. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. Whatever you can do. Share. You know, it doesn't cost anything. Take you a couple of seconds, and it's such appreciated. Thanks a million. Thanks everybody who tuned in. I can see there. I see that there is actually a Higher Berlin remix, but we decided against releasing it. It was a bit too
Too Berlin-y.
too Berlin-y, yeah.
Too techno.
A bit techno, yeah.
Brilliant.
But yeah, huge big shout out to everybody involved. It's been such a pleasure, and Kozak, and to yourself, thanks a million for hosting this evening.
No worries, my absolute pleasure. And guys, as well, just a quick reminder that any links to Chris can be found in the video there in the description, so you can click on that link tree. It's only one link, but it contains many links, and one of those links is, of course, to his upcoming EP launch and everything else in between, so his Spotify and everything. So don't forget to follow Chris on all the platforms as well. That's so important as well. On Spotify, it really does help him get that boost as well, because that's what we want as well. We want to get your song out there onto those Spotify playlists as well tomorrow. So we got to be listening in tomorrow, guys, and downloading it from iTunes as well. So have a great evening, everybody. It's been my absolute pleasure to be hosting this event, Chris. It really has been. It's been awesome chatting to you and getting to know you a little bit more. You're a super talented musician with so much potential, and you've come so far in only a couple of years. It just astounds me how much you've come. So fair play to you, man. Best of luck tomorrow. Get a good night's sleep tonight, or you mightn't. I don't know. Celebrate tonight. I don't know. And I'll chat to you very soon. Take it easy.
Cheers, Kozak. Thanks a million.
Take care.
I know you know I loved you. Too young, too fun to realize. And we were laying in the long grass in the summer, thinking about you from time to time. And I'm sorry I just lied. I think about you all the time. I am consumed by an unreal greed, consumed by a love that could have been, consumed by a love unborn but conceived. I am consumed, there's nothing left of me. More beautiful than I recall. I thought we ought to start again, but I heard you paid your way with your body. Overheard what your friend did say. I'm sorry I just tried. I thought about this all the time. I was consumed by an unreal greed, consumed by a love that could have been, consumed by a love unborn but conceived. I was consumed, there's nothing left of me. We grew up, we grew apart, and we grew distant. What What seemed so big back then is so small in the distance of time between now and when it was you and I, you and I. What could have been, would have been, and if it should have been. And I'm sorry I just tried. I think about you one last time. I won't be consumed by an unreal greed. Consumed by a love that could have been. Consumed by a love unborn but conceived. You are consumed, there's nothing left for me. And after all, we're doing fine. You found love, as did I. I said, baby, there's something about you. Something I